lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Hello everyone, I'm Scott, welcoming you back to another edition of the Old Curiosity Shop. This morning, bright and early, I'm parked outside of my West Philadelphia Goodwill store, and I haven't been here in quite some time. I'm anxious to get indoors and see what they have to offer. Let's go shopping! Well, it didn't take me long to see a piece of pink depression glass on the bottom shelf. A nice little console bowl. $4, very nice. And that, of course, is going to date to around 1930. That's going in the shopping cart. Aha, you might also see it looks like there's some artwork in that cart. Well, if you were watching last night or the night before, you know that that piece of art is hanging on my living room wall. We're going to take a closer look at it at the very end of this video. I promise you'll see it in detail, and I'll tell you what I paid for it. I'm fiddling now on this end cap at the Goodwill store in West Philadelphia, looking through all of the crystal glassware very carefully. Letting you shop along with me. This was heavy. A very nice EAPG bowl. Someone asked me about EAPG. They usually hear me say, oh, look at this thing. It's a kitty cat. It's new. I was pressing. I think there's a light bulb in there somehow, and the cat is supposed to light up. But they were asking me, is EAPG Early American Pressed Glass or Early American Patterned Glass? And we're looking at a piece right there, that old pitcher. It's got a crack in the handle, unfortunately. Well, actually, you can say Early American Patterned Glass or Pressed Glass. I've heard both used my entire life in the antique world, and I think they're equally accepted. Wow. That looks like an amazing frame, and I promise you this is not a bait and switch. We are going to look at that at the end of this video. $8 for that. EAPG has been around for a long time, and it is notoriously chipped up with all of the zigzag and zipper sawtooth edges. Well, I'm letting the camera roll as I scan down the clear glass aisle, and we're not finding much. I think that was plastic. That pineapple was plastic. There's really not much on the shelves. In fact, I guess I should go ahead and tell you. I don't want to spoil it, but well, this isn't a murder mystery. We're not going to find much. Now, I didn't buy these Presto lids. I could have. $1.50. And they're perfectly fine. I just decided to leave them there. It's some wooden thing with a sad dog face on it. Oh, I liked this. Unusual dish with the 3 handles on there. It's a nice piece of Noritake going back into the 1930s. Very pretty colors. I didn't really want to pay $8 for it, and so I left it there. Who knows? It might still be there if I go back on half price day, or when the colors, when yellow is 50% off. I guess it's the same thing, isn't it? Yeah, so we're not really running into anything all that super duper. various things here. I don't remember whether that was Linux or not. No, I don't think so. Linux isn't something that I usually. Actually, I don't buy and sell Linux. I wonder what was in that green cardboard box. I didn't look at that. I thought that was a made in Japan piece, but it turns out it might have been a homemade ceramic from someone's crafting days. I don't know what that was. I kind of just wanted you to see me pushing this cart down the aisle with my treasure there carefully stacked on top of the shopping cart. It really did make it worth it just to find that one piece. And I think that's going to be about it for today, at least in this particular store. So I just thought I would show you. There are many times when you're shopping and you really just don't find much of anything in the glassware. Oh my gosh, I haven't thought about this in ages. Who remembers Pit? Did anybody play Pit? My cousins, we would get on the floor in the living room, and there was a bell. There was an annoying bell. Now I don't see how come the bell is not in this box? Like a school bell that you'd ring. Barley, barley, oats, oats, wheat, flax, barley, barley. We would make all this noise. Can you imagine that? $1.29. What's the date on that? I can't see it. Yep, we sure did used to play Pit. That's 1975-ish. Well, I was just talking about colonial revival the other day and how popular it was in the 1930s. So here's a little mirror in probably maple, but take a look at the top of it, and we've got, it's not signed or anything, but boy, that sure does look like a Wallace Nutting print, or at least in the style of Wallace Nutting. And you've got everything. You've got the big old hearth and the hook rug on the floor and slat back chairs and a big chest piece there on the left and the old-fashioned wall clock of colonial revival as the tasteful way to decorate your house. And this is going to also date to the 1930s. The old paper on the back. It's $9. I'm not going to buy it. It's small and just something that is quaint. Yeah, I think the print is faded a little bit, but you'll find this kind of thing in your thrift shops. Oh, what's this? I don't think that's no. Look at this thing. It looks like something my grandmother would have had. It's a plastic, tacky, wonderfully tacky Easter decoration. Look at this chick coming up out of the egg. And it's actually American made. There's an American company on the bottom here. That is really cute. But I don't want to pay $7 for that. I don't know. It would be easy to ship. Oh, put him down. It's not sticky either. That is cute. Oh, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Am I the only one who has nightmares that these big-headed 70s lamps are going to come to life in the middle of the night and strangle me? As you can see, I have moved on to another location, You can tell by the sort of 1940s linoleum floor. I'm in an old store that was some old store of some type and has now been converted into, this is actually a Salvation Army. This is only the second time that I've ever been there. That reminded me of Goofus glass when I picked it up, but then I see that it's not and that it is something new. So again, I don't remember. This is way outside of Philadelphia. And I wasn't very impressed with this Salvation Army. A lot of old shoes. I know people. Boy, people make money on old shoes. I'm impressed that they know what they're doing. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to old shoes. There's a cute little server for lemons or whatever you want to serve. That was actually, I think that was the only old piece of glass or piece of glass from the 1930s or 40s that I saw. That Hawking jar, candy jar there is pretty common. You can see there's a downstairs, and you can see how old that floor is. Now we're looking down the side here on the wall, and I don't know. This is going to be very lackluster, ladies and gentlemen. I can go ahead and tell you there are no Tiffany lamps waiting for me. That's not a piece of Gorham silver up there. I didn't find any 1830s Cape Cod scrimshaw. I just found a bunch of old shoes, old pants. Oh my goodness. Oh, but I've got to show you that painting at the end of this video. More clear glass there. No, I'm just not finding it. That was a little cake stand. That was okay. But I didn't buy it. It's the way it goes some days. Well, what's that back there? Oh, there's a little vase back there, but it didn't turn me on. Another little one right there. That was kind of cute, but Okay, I've had enough. Let's get this cart and go somewhere else. This was terrible. Well, you can imagine how delighted I was to put this in my cart at the Goodwill and carry it around. Yes, this came from the Goodwill in West Philadelphia. It is an original oil painting. It's going to date to somewhere to the mid to late 1920s, and really they're copying the work, or the artist here is inspired by the work of the popular painters of that time and illustrators, Maxfield Parrish, R.A. Fox, that kind of thing. So you have your typical sort of English cottage with the natural roof and the person out in the English garden with all the different flowers and everything. Very typical of what you would see from a R.A. Fox print. It is on canvas. Again, it's going to date to 1925 or so. The gesso frame is in good shape. I think we're just missing one little. We got one little spot on the corner that can be repaired. I don't see a signature or a date on it, so we'll get it in the house and examine it a little bit closer. What a thrill! Oh, and I'll tell you how much I paid. Hold on.